So this is the kind of thing that I would normally just partner you up with somebody in the classroom and let you kind of figure it out. But since that's not really an option right now, especially if you're working from home, I thought I would kind of nudge you in the right direction on a couple of these and just let you figure it out from there. The thing that you need to remember is that we're dealing with isosceles triangles. Okay, now an isosceles triangle, given one piece of information, you automatically know another. So in this top picture here, I know that these two sides are equal, which means, hey, those two angles are equal. And then the reverse of that is true. If I know the angles are equal, I'm also basically told that the sides are equal. So depending on what piece of information I give you, you automatically know the other one. So let's see how that helps us out here. I want you to set up an equation to solve for the value of x. Now what I've given you here is an expression for the angle at the measure of angle 2, right? So this is angle 2 down here. Now what do I know about that as far as how it relates to the rest of the triangle? Well, this one's pretty straightforward. What do we know about those two angles there? Since they're the base angles of an isosceles triangle, they're equal. So I can basically set up a pretty straightforward equation, this one here. Now when I subtract my 51, right, we're not really worried about the algebra here. At this point, you can either solve these or you can't. So it's okay that the variable has a negative value, because if I were to plug that back in, if I were to plug that negative 11 back in here, negative 11 plus 51 is 40. That's a positive angle, so that's okay. Now that one's not too bad. The base angles are the same. Now this one's a little bit more complicated, and this is where I would want you and your partner to kind of hash it out and figure out what's going on. You could do this one a couple of different ways. I'm going to show you how I would do it, how my brain works. I know that all three of these angles are going to have to add up to 180 degrees. And I know the one at the bottom here, the vertex angle, it's upside down, but those two angles are going to have to total 86 degrees. Now, that 86 degrees is reserved for the two base angles that are the same. So I know that those two base angles are 86 degrees total, which means that each one of them is 43. So if each one of those angles is 43 degrees, I can set that angle 2 up to equal just 43 degrees. So my equation is going to be really simple once I get it set up. 3x plus 16 equals 43 degrees. So it's very similar to the types of problems I was having you work on last week, but once you get it kind of set up, or once you get it in your head what that angle measure is, you're setting that equal to an expression and solving that. Excuse me. So let's see, 3x equals 43 minus 16 is 27. Divide out my 3. I got 9. Now, again, you could go back and plug this back in just to kind of verify what's going on here. 3 times 9 is 27 plus 16 is the 43 degrees that we already said it was. Those are going to be the trickier ones. Those are going to be the ones that you're going to have to stop and think on. You can't just rush in and set up a real quick equation and solve it. You've got to figure out what the angle measure is and then set the expression equal to that. Take your time on these.